The Sea Sparrow. A good helicopter that is sadly just forgotten. This vehicle right here is based on the Bell Model 47. It's a two-seater. It can land on water. It can have missiles or machine guns. And overall, it's a pretty decently fast helicopter. So having these things, why is it forgotten? Well, let's get straight into it. So first off, let's start with the performance. Let's start with like the braking, acceleration, top speed. When it comes to those type of stats, it's very similar to the Buzzard, and that's even with race handling and EMS upgrades on the engine. It's very similar to the Buzzard. This thing also has no countermeasures, so sadly that sucks, but it's very similar to the Buzzard. And when it comes to top speed and acceleration, like, this thing is slightly faster than the Buzzard, but you'll barely notice it, so it's not that big of a deal. So even with or without the upgrades, you will notice it that the Buzzard is just basically in the same ballpark as the Sea Sparrow in terms of performance. When it comes to the braking, same thing as the Buzzard. But one thing that this aircraft does that the Buzzard doesn't do is that whenever you push it forward and you accelerate, this thing starts pulling up. Unlike the Buzzard starts falling down, and you can see that as a pro or a con depending on how you like to fly your helicopters. So if you like to get some altitude, this thing might be better than the Buzzard. But overall, the Buzzard feels a bit more stable in my opinion, so I prefer to fly the Buzzard over the Sea Sparrow. That's just me. So now let's get into the weapons. When it comes to the weapons, it either has spammable missiles and a 50 cal machine gun. It's basically the same machine gun that's in the Havoc, and it's alright. It could be better, but it's good if you want to do like 1v1 helicopter dogfight. So since you only have to aim one machine gun, you can basically go for the cockpit kill and get an easy kill, so it's good for that. And when it comes to free mode, that machine gun's basically useless. Everybody's in oppressors now, or anything that has like high tracking missiles, so you're pretty much screwed. Even if you're in free, people just use homing launchers and just can kill you with a normal minigun or RPG, because you have to get pretty close to kill them. Or free aim assist, it can pretty much fuck you over, so yeah, you gotta be careful. As for the missiles are alright. They have basically the same tracking as the Savage, so yeah, you can turn them on and off if you want to, homing on, homing off, but it's basically the same as the Savage. So overall, it's a decent upgrade, but it's not the best of the world. And probably the worst part of the weaponry is that you cannot have both. So that gives another advantage to the Buzzard, where you can have machine guns and missiles. Yeah, the missiles on the Buzzard only fire 2, so they're not spammable, but when it comes to having the same tracking, it really doesn't matter. Especially if it comes to a PvP fight, most of the rockets are gonna miss anyway. So yeah, it's okay, I guess, but yeah, honestly, the weaponry is decent, but I would just go with the homing launcher. It's just better in free mode, and overall, just go with that, because it's better for missions as well. But the thing that kills this aircraft is that, well, comparing it to the Buzzard, is that the amount of stuff that you need to have to get this. So with the Buzzard, it comes with the machine guns and the missiles, plus at the same time it's extremely agile. For 1.7 million, you need no hangar, it just comes straight like that. With the Sea Sparrow, you need to own a hangar first to own it. Second, the workshop. Then you gotta buy the EMS upgrades and the braking and the weapons. So overall, it's gonna be like a 3.3 million to 3.7 million range, depending on which hangar you buy and how much upgrades you put into this thing. So it's gonna be very expensive. It's basically $2 million plus. Plus remember that you gotta also buy this thing. This thing comes stock with no weapons and anything. Now, yes, I think, if I'm not mistaken, I didn't check this, but if you do not put any weapons, this aircraft can go in passive mode. So if you want basically an unweaponized Buzzard that can land on water, then yes, you can get this, but it's still very expensive for what you get, especially if you make it unweaponized. And basically another thing that kills this aircraft is if you land it like facing forward, this thing is just gonna flip over because of how lightweight it is. And that's not good. So Yeah, another thing that kind of kills this aircraft is basically the sea breeze if you want to land it. So, yes, it's not a helicopter, but basically, if you want to land on water while going at full speed, the sea breeze got you covered. Like, I'm going to show you right here. Like, look. It's just slowly landing it, and then boom, just it flips over just like that, and then just die. Most of the time, you won't blow up. Like, it'll just get destroyed, but I just died. Now, look what the sea breeze. Basically, I can just go at full speed, even nose diving. Like, yeah, I just went like that, but if I go like at an even bigger nose dive like this, see, I even went underwater and nothing happened to the plane. So, yeah, the Sea Sparrow needs a big buff. How would you guys buff this helicopter? Hopefully you guys enjoyed and have a nice day. Bye bye.